Interpersonal effectiveness. It's being effective in your relationships with people. You know, any relationship that you're in, that's really what we're going to talk about, is how to have the skills necessary to have healthy relationships and be effective in your relationships. Anytime you're in a situation or in a relationship, you've got to identify for the given situation what's the priority that you need to use. And a lot of times we get our priorities mixed up, which ends up hurting the relationship, or things get out of whack and creates chaos in our relationships. Really, the whole skill of interpersonal effectiveness is being able to realize when to use those priorities and then how to use them. The three priorities are objectives, relationship, and self-respect. The first one, objective, is essentially getting what you want. What do I want to get out of this relationship, or what do I want to get from this individual or person? So an example would be standing up for your rights, requesting something from others, refusing requests, and then getting your opinion taken seriously. So that's where you'd use the objective. The second priority is relationships. It's kind of this art of improving or maintaining a relationship. So it'd be balancing your immediate goals of having the house clean with your long-term relationship of, can I let this go in the moment so that I can maintain my relationship? And then the last one's self-respect. So prioritizing your self-respect. Plenty of times in our lives where our self-respect should take priority over what we want or the relationship. And so that's when we'd use that. If we have morals, values that we're sticking to. The questions to ask is, how do I want to feel about myself after this interaction? We've kind of broken down being effective in relationships to three main areas. So the first one's getting what you want. And we'll discuss the acronym Dear Man as an easy way to kind of break down the skill and remember it. The second one is being able to maintain or build relationships, and we'll use GIVE, which is the acronym for that, to help us remember the skills we need to use. And then the third is building your self-respect, and that's FAST is the acronym we'll use to kind of help us remember the skill. First one's Dear Man. We'd use this when in the moment your priority is to get what you want. So for example, wife's looking over the finances, everything the family's dealing with, we've got the money, she wants a new car, and now she just needs to discuss it with her husband. So Dear Man is what you'd use to do that. The D stands for describe the situation. You just stick to the facts. You describe what's needed. For example, honey, it's really difficult because we're a one-car family right now. We have 3 kids, and I need to be able to get around when you're at work. So it'd be something simple like that. And then the next would be express how you feel about it. Not making accusations, not blaming, saying you haven't got me a car in 5 years, what's wrong with you? Probably not going to be very effective. So you would actually stick with, honey, it's just difficult to get around. Sometimes I actually feel like I'm not important or capable because I can't get to the places I need to get to. It's getting in the way. So essentially just let them know how you feel about the situation. The next is ask for what you want and assert your needs. So in a clear way, a succinct way, just make your point. Ask for what you need in that moment, which is, in my mind, I need to feel capable. I need to feel like I can get out and get our kids where they need to be. So I'd ask for what I want, which is we need a new car. And then reinforce the other person. They're showing interest. Let them know, hey, I really appreciate you being interested in what I'm talking about. I know this isn't, I know this is tough for you, but I really appreciate you being interested. So again, it's reinforcing what you're trying to get. So M stands for mindful. And then we put the B in front of it, so it's be mindful in that moment. Stay on your point. So if it starts to get emotional, they're like, well, you always do this, you always do this. We just stick with where we're at. Stay focused on what matters. A lot of times, families or couples, when it gets emotional, they start to flood each other with other problems and issues. The critical piece is to stay at what you're asking for in that moment. And then the next one is appear confident. Go to the person, making eye contact, in a strong voice, being able to just present that you know what you're talking about and you know what you need in that moment. So N is negotiate. Be willing to give to get. If you have to give something up, so for example, well, I'd love to get a car, but I need you to stick to a budget with eating out. You can only spend $10 a week. Is that something we can do? As you're using Dear Man, remember that acronym because it will help you stick to the things to get what you want. Give is the next skill. So in that moment when the priority is your relationship, that's where give would come into play. So for example, your daughter just came home, it's late, you're tired, but she'd like to stay up and talk. And they've tried to talk to you the last couple nights and you continue to have to go to bed. The priority becomes, it's probably more important that I stay up and listen to my daughter then go to bed right now, because she's been wanting to talk to me and I haven't made it a priority. So the first thing is gentle, and we stuck the B in front of it, so be gentle. Using a gentle tone, have a gentle voice. The next part of give is the I is interested. You may be tired, you may be worn out, you still non-verbally and verbally want to be present with her. The third one is validate the other person. So show the other person you care about them. As you validate, you want to be present, you want to be there with them, letting them know that even if you don't agree, you can hear and understand what they're talking about. And then the last one is E, which is easy manner. Have an easy manner. Be courteous with the person. If they're talking slow, if it's taking a while, be patient, be present with them. Just use that easy manner. The goal or the priority in using give is to maintain the relationship. And the last skill is fast. When you need to maintain your self-respect in a situation, you would use fast. A common one that I often hear from young ladies is, my boyfriend said that if we don't have sex, he's not going to know that I care about him. But it's my moral or value that I'm not going to have sex right now. If that's your moral and value, it's okay to stick to that, because that's eventually going to build your relationship. Parents want a relationship with their daughter. They sometimes feel like I can't stick to my consequence, or I have to be her friend. But I start to not stick to my own values, or I have to go buy them cigarettes because they're smoking all of a sudden, even though that's a value I have. So the first one in fast is to be fair. Be fair to yourself. Don't accuse the person or put them down. And the next one is apologize. So the key is don't apologize. As you're making a request to someone or letting them know that, hey, I'm not okay with having sex, I'm not okay with going and buying you cigarettes, I don't have to apologize for that. That's a value I have. It's something I'm okay to stick with. The S in fast is stick to your values. Trying to figure out how to get what you want, which is in that moment, if it's my value that I don't have sex with you, I want to keep my self-respect, so I stick to that and I let you know. And then the last one is T, which is be truthful. Be truthful about what's going on or happening. Don't make things seem better or worse than they really are, just to get your needs met. Sometimes when we have conversations like that are emotional, the individual can get pretty abrasive and upset, and the critical piece is just following those steps, letting them know that you're there. Is remembering the three priorities there. You use all three in balance. So if one's outweighing the other, then you're going to have a problem. I've always been amazed to see, when families start to really get and understand how to use the interpersonal effectiveness skills, really kind of this whole new world opens up to the family, it opens up to the child, and parents are amazed at how few adjustments can really help them connect and relate with one another.